Jordan. It's time to get your geek on.
We just released Conman the Game based on the series, Conman the series, and we're really excited about it. It was something that was part of the crowdfund. How many months ago was that, the crowdfund?
I think we started the game, 16, 17 months ago was when we actually started. Right when we finished the crowdfunding, we went right in development of the game.
Yeah, we were in pre-production for Conman series and then also looking at art. Freema and PJ and I were going back and forth with how we wanted to design it, what we wanted the look to be, what the chibis should look like, and we had a lot of different versions, and now we're so happy to be sharing it with everybody. It's a free game, it's on Apple and it's on Google Play, and it's going really well, and I keep wanting to show it to people. I have this odd distraction thing. And I want to remind everyone, I was the one who said, just let everybody straggle in. It's going to be no problem.
Stay with us.
ADD. I keep wanting to show the game to people, but the minute I pull it out, I truly get sucked in because you're building your own con, and you have to collect money and collect your experience points. You put up booths and you keep earning money, and so you have to hit them, and then an alien comes and you're like, I am talking to you. I just have to do this because you close it and you're like, what? They're burning down my booths right now. Right now they're burning down my booths. So it's a Sims game, Sims style game where you're building your own con and making it bigger and bigger and bigger until you can get up to Shaka Khan level. And we're updating it all the time. In fact, yesterday we had an update where
Brought the Tooth Fairy in.
Brought the Tooth Fairy in, so there's characters.
My personal favorite.
Yeah.
He's so good.
My personal
If
favorite.
you saw the trailer from last season of, if you didn't even get a chance to watch the series, and the trailer was a Tooth Fairy who came to Wray Nerely, my character, at a signing and said, "You helped me forget
Your show.
Yeah, your show.
Help me to forget what happened to my village. I burned it down.
I burned it down."
It's like I sent it to my brother. I sent it to everybody I know when I saw that clip, and we got to work with him in season 2.
Yeah,
And I had to leave set. You made me leave one time because I was ruining takes. I was laughing.
But that was the one scene where you could not stay straight.
No.
It was like 9 takes because every time we delivered a line on the camera, it was like.
They had to say something else.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
him say the most boring thing I could think of, which was a concrete column. So he would say, "Thank you for helping me forget what happened to my village, concrete column." It was a boring, boring thing, and I could just nod my head and look as like that was a weird thing to say. But I had to do it because I couldn't keep a straight face. And he's a friend from high school. Like, we brought in friends and fans. I mean, this is truly like just a fun thing that we've made, and this season's the same. Any character that we brought in, we brought back. That we liked, we brought back. The ones we hated were like, get out!
We lost their phone.
We lost it. But there weren't, I don't know, I can't even name one, because I've already forgotten. But I know I can't even name
Leslie
one.
Jordan came back.
Leslie
Mindy
Jordan
Sterling
was back,
came
Mindy Sterling. Yeah.
The cast of Spectrum came back. All
Yeah.
of them. A bunch of new people.
Henry Rollins, really, the first
He's
season,
back.
we had him take off. I was like, do you think he'll take off his hat and show a huge nest of odd hair? Will he be able to do something that silly? He was absolutely up for it. So this season challenged him to do a lot more. Do you think he'll wear this? How about this?
Yeah,
He said yes the whole time.
He had the most extensive costumes this year.
And he's in the game. Conman the game. He's in the game. You can hire VIPs within the game. And you can speak, what happens when you hire, because if you hire different Spectrum stars, they do different things for your con.
They add buffs or boosts to your con, so if you have them on the floor signing, then certain things will happen, like your garbage will be used yet less, or you don't have to clean the toilets fast enough, or every booth will give you more money, so
And
you
Henry,
want to hire.
yeah, you want to hire them, I'm sorry to interrupt. And Henry's is, you won't get attacked by aliens, because he's somebody who makes his own guns, which we find out in season 2. He has to call them works of art to get past the convention. And they're these just ridiculous looking things like, this is a gun? How is this a gun? And of course, Nolan North is back as Jerry Lansing, the second best motion capture artist in the world.
You know, you keep saying that in interviews?
That's the bane of his existence.
Because there's only one and there's two. There's only two people.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything Andy Serkis is wrong and horrible.
But the Imaginesium this year is amazing.
Yeah, which is my favorite thing when I heard it, because you told me some of the ideas about it, but there was, Andy Serkis has the Imaginarium mocap school in London. So Jerry Lansing has opened it's my favorite line that he wrote. Imaginesium, registered trademark Jerry Lansing, trademark pending.
I think half of that was your line, actually.
No, that was,
he came up with a lot of stuff.
But the Imaginesium, and it was just, and I remember walking on set that day, and he had built a room, and the quotes that we'd come up, we were typing up quotes and sending things. You said, send me some ideas for quotes like mocap takes balls.
Don't pretend to do something tomorrow that you can pretend to do today.
Yeah, yeah, just great, and it was a real room, and we got like an improv troupe that came in to.
Oh yeah, be our extras that day to back us up.
It was great. It was great. So it's been an
Yeah,
absolute blast. And
big
Jerry's in the game,
Jerry's in the game.
giving out missions. People are asking for more missions. They want more Jerry missions. And I've got a lot of comments that the two favorite things are when Jerry passes out stolen hats.
Oh yeah,
And
they
when-
look
and
a lot
when-
like Jane hats.
Yeah.
Same color.
Same color scheme, but nothing that might upset Fox.
Yeah, but also the other
Their merchandising machine, right? Right.
We can bleep Fox out, right?
Yeah. No, we can bleep out that they were Jane hats.
Yeah, but that and the party, right? The party, the little Ray party.
Oh, yeah,
People
right.
love that.
No, they do.
Yeah, just sit
I
that.
like the sound effects.
Sound effects and it's
my
everybody,
character-
the level goes up. Yeah,
Have you got the little tombstone that says R.I.P. hashtag too soon?
Oh.
So there's a lot of little Easter eggs for people who know Firefly and have the history of Firefly, and then also, or know the history of Firefly, and then also a lot of different things within the sci-fi world. You'll see little bits and pieces of
The Tucker and Dale cabin.
There's a Tucker and Dale cabin, although
It's just a cabin.
there's just a cabin in the woods, but things that are personal to us and that anybody who knows our work and is a fan of sci-fi, even things that we're not in, things like deceased water plaything. It would be something like that, someone that is deceased or dead, and then a water thing. You might see some of that in there. So we're able to put a lot of it.
Confused the whole room.
Yeah.
I know.
But
It's early.
we're working on. We have a team. We didn't just make the game and put it out. We have a team from Freema. Freema's here. They work on the game nonstop, doing updates. People are enjoying the game so much they're already burning through all the levels. So the next update, you're going to be able to do new floors. You're going to be able to add floors, and then we're going to continue on the theme of these sci-fi references, and you're going to be able to collect these rare items now and put them in your showcase, your manager's office, and they'll be they come out as they come out as used, mint, and signed, and then common, rare, and legendary. So you got to do the different ones. It's everything from plushies that have disappeared to one we're discussing this morning, the Jack Moore music album, Singing the Blues. We may make an adjustment to that one. But really weird collectible, so it'll be fun. It speaks to the theme of the cons.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a spoken word album.
See, now there you go. There we go. See, we're still, as we are making new things, that we all contribute to that.
By the way, what you just witnessed is how we pretty much did the show and the game. Just the ideas we're just like, hey, what if it's that?
Yeah.
And then he goes yes, and he puts himself in a room and types it up.
Or then they would say, go make that happen.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I mean, for me, for anybody making it all happen. We did a musical of Mice and Men with Lou Ferrigno playing Lenny. Ultimately, he originally wants to play George because he's always wanted to play that role ever since he was a lodge boy.
That's the best. That's the best. It's another thing. I'm kind of notorious for possibly almost ruining takes from across the room. Scenes I'm not in.
You're in there.
I ruin the ones I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's be clear about that. But across the room, I had no idea what was coming because I only read my lines.
Right.
And,
Blah, blah, blah,
and
blah, blah.
he's over there, and he just says something. He goes, "Ever since I was a giant boy, I wanted to do this play," and I just burst out laughing. And you know, the extras around me are like, is this guy new?"
The extras.
Yeah, the extras were getting on to me. "You're supposed to pretend to talk." I can't laugh. It's funny. I had to leave.
While we were doing the musical, we only have one dead mouse. And I went to the art department like, I need 3 more. I need 3 more dead mice within the next 30 minutes. Go! And they're scramble making dead mice
But you
for
say
me.
it in a manner where if we don't find those mice, the walls are going to burn down. It's just like...
By the
Have
way,
you seen it play out? It's very funny.
it's funny. Hold on. Just for people who aren't on a camera, he means fake mice. We didn't run around killing rodents. Like, snap
That
and
would
stop.
have been the easy way.
No,
I
they
did
weren't.
mean dead mice, but I got fake dead mice. We were
Fake
able to use them.
dead
They worked.
mice.
They worked.
But it would be,
PETA
in
after us.
season 1, I remember there was this whole, and then the very last scene of the lost episode was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm like, Alan, come on, we gotta cut this down a little bit. And I go, what about this? He goes, no, this scene here on the alien planet with Cytheria and the knee walkers, which is a giant alien on stilts, and it goes through a storm and in cave, we can animate that. It won't cost as much, or shadow puppets or something. 2 o'clock in the morning, hey, you know that scene in the cave, it's gotta be live action, okay? Thanks, bye.
Yep. So basically, we're saying we don't pay ourselves. When we did the crowdfund, we put it into the production, and we're real proud with how it looks and about how it looks. And also this season, again, it's with Comic-Con HQs where you can see it, and you can already stream season 1, and that's where we're going to debut season 2, and. We got money from them to make it, which is so great that they saw season 1, loved what we were doing, and then said, okay, because we didn't want to crowdfund again. We wanted to go to production companies, which when you make your own thing, that's the brilliance of that. We had gone to studios and production companies initially before we crowdfunded, and they all had ideas that were a lot of them were disrespectful to the fans. They didn't understand that the fans were the heroes of the story, and that, you know, if you make fun of nerdy culture and like, oh, look at the nerds, it's one joke, you know, beyond being insulting. You're like, all right, now that joke's over, what else are you going to do? And so once we made the show, and the show was popular with the people we wanted it to be popular, they came and saw it, they saw that, and asked us to make more like we had made initially. So.
And they also give us a larger distribution platform, where before when you do it yourself, that's the biggest hurdle at that point, is to be able to get it to the masses. So, you know, now, because Comic-Con HQ and Lionsgate are such champions of Command, they're boosting it, so more and more people after season 2 will be able to see it as opposed to the limited space we had in season 1. So that's exciting too.
Why don't we, does anybody have any questions? I'm just going to yammer up here I can talk about this nonstop.
I have 2 questions actually. One
Yes.
about Command. How did that even get conceptualized, never mind started with the crowdfunding? What was the original seed to
Right.
get us to this point?
They started, I think it's one of the, okay, let's just say it started there. I think it did. In Florida, there was a con that no longer exists that I showed up to, and there were a bunch of women who were of advanced years, all with baby dolls. Oh, they were babies. They were treating them like babies. They were going ooh and cooing and tickling, and with what are these called?
Strollers.
Not prams, strollers, and then I saw a woman walk up with a baby this big that was dressed, I don't know, like a person, and I realized they were all dolls, and there was a doll convention going on simultaneously with our convention. I got into our convention, I was like, that is totally weird. Then I got into our convention and I saw people with action figures. I was like, well, what is the difference? I mean, there's a difference. According to Will Wheaton,
Yeah,
there's a
there's
huge difference! Enormous! How dare you even suggest it? But, so that was an idea, you know, it was things like that people don't know about it, and it's a great backdrop. So, for what ends up happening in that episode is we had Tricia Helfer play one of the doll women, not of advanced years. But Wray gets smitten with her, and it's also the episode where Wray gets his own action figure. So they have this thing in common. He tries to make it work. It does not work because he kills her doll on accident. He breaks its head. It shatters into a million pieces. What happened to my doll? It's sleeping with the baby Jesus.
But you didn't go to a con until Firefly. You had never gone to a sci-fi con until Firefly.
No, not at all. I had never, unlike Nathan, and Nathan invited me to the first con. You know, we started getting invitations after Firefly. And it was a whole new world for me, which helped in seeing this world, you know, from an outside perspective. I was able to see the differences with what I had experienced, you know, prior. And so there's similarities there. I was doing theater, and so Wray did theater, and then he came out and did a show that was canceled too soon. And he is invited into this world, and it went very well in the beginning. He loved it. His friend Jack Moore, Nathan's character, goes on to huge success. And I would say Matt Damon's success. Although some would suggest it's only Ben Affleck's sex.
Uh-oh.
Success.
Stop saying suck.
Stop saying suck.
Suck sex.
Success.
Wait,
Ben Affleck sucks sex.
Terrible
You know.
sex. Yeah.
It's also the last movie he did.
So, and there we are.
That's a shot. This is
so-
what I do. I deflect. I
Jerry
deflect.
Lansing said that.
I deflect from my creator.
My creator. What was? Oh yeah. So he goes on to extreme success, and Wray looks at him to what he wants his life to be, and he stops appreciating what his life is. So he does a lot of sci-fi, and those are his opportunities. And in this season, you got a taste of it last season, but this season he absolutely says, "I'm not doing any more sci-fi until I do something legit," because to him that is what acting is. And Jack needs Spectrum, the movie, to do a movie of the show that was canceled, sort of their Serenity. And he needs it now because his career starts to flag once Australian actors take all the leading roles. And there's an endless number of Hemsworths.
They keep coming out.
Yeah, they come out of the woodwork. It starts with Chris, and then it ends up there's a Farnsworth Hemsworth, a Huck, until we get to Girth Hemsworth.
Who's the Australian who's more American than any American?
Oh yeah, they're just more American. That's why they like them. So Jack wants to, this season, needs Spectrum. Wray says, I'm not doing Spectrum. I need a legit job. So they start to help each other. And that's mainly what drives this season, is Wray looking to get a job, Dr. Cop Lawyer, which is a TV show where he plays a doctor, a cop, and a lawyer simultaneously. And
Your take on the procedurals.
yes, because there's so many cop shows, and this has just bothered me for years, ever since, like, I don't know, Crossing Over, where I'm like, how does she have time besides being, you know, she's in the mortuary, there's like dead bodies who come, and she's like, I'm gonna solve the crime. What do you mean you're gonna solve the crime? Even CSI, they're out there with you like, we need to give them guns, as if they have guns. Bring the scientists in, the ones packing heat. What is that? So is a doctor.
It's called high concept.
Yes. Well, it's what we're all used to, so it's another way of looking at that. And next season, we hope to bring you Dr. Cop Lawyer, some Dr. Cop Lawyer, which I've already written a lot of because I wanted to make it into a show. But evidently, according to some studio people, you can't make that show because it mocks the thing that makes them money. Yeah. Because I wanted to play it straight. I'm like, no, you got to play it straight. And then it's just funny to those snobby smart people. Self-important, jaded people like myself.
Oh, we're gonna make it.
That's what we do.
With Nathan Fillion as Dr. Cop Lawyer, that would be a lot of fun. Or Wray, I don't want to say who, or Jerry Lansing. It's all, let's watch second season to find out. But that's what the season's about. You had a second question.
I did, actually.
Yum, 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 yum.
Of all of the roles that you had, everything from 28 Days, of course, to Washburn, to Pirate Steve, what's been your favorite character to play and why?
It changes. I mean, what's your favorite food? It's kind of tough.
Like right now?
Right now, what is your
Oh, you're
favorite?
not really asking me.
No, I'm not. But,
Like chicken.
chicken. My favorite deceased animal that I consume.
When you put it that way.
Right. I used to say
Steak.
death at a funeral.
No,
Rape?
yeah.
Skate?
That's steak now.
Steak.
Because you made me feel bad about the chicken.
Well, cows don't. Anyway, so I want to
Kale?
say.
Is kale okay?
Yep.
Sorry, you had a question.
Have you ever heard Kale scream? Never
You ever
eat
hear
it
this
again.
kid the first time he eats steak, because like, well, Zoe was when she's eating steak, she goes, Daddy, is this cow from the farm or cow from the store? Like, it's two
That's a good
different cows
cow.
there.
The store. There's no
It's
other
at the
answer.
funeral.
Get back to that.
Sure.
He used to be dead at a funeral. Frank Oz directed that, and that was a huge part of that. The director is, enormous. Now that I'm directing, that sounds weird. I'm enormous. So, erase. That it was Frank Oz. Frank Oz made it like a play, and it's a farce. I've always loved farces in doing plays. They're the 3-act structure. I love the idea of having that, and we do a lot of that in Con Man. I try to do as much as possible where it's like nobody go into this door. But we have to go in there. We don't now have to go in this door at all. You know what, everybody in here? What? You just said no, but now I'm saying yes, and now we have to absolutely go in here. It's those crazy ideas, or those high-stakes situations that there was in Death at Funeral. Star Wars has been pretty great. Star Wars was a lot of fun. We traveled all over the world. It's a great production, the way they run things. I mean, it's an enormous machine. You'd be in scenes where there are, the makeup is so extraordinary from ILM. And you'd go, I don't remember your character in the script. And it's not. It's just somebody who walks right by, doesn't do anything, doesn't say anything, and it's just, you'll see it as, you're like, oh, a walking action figure. Because you're going to see it. Oh, you got to get the blah, blah, blah. You did beautiful work. Beautiful work that day.
Uncredited.
Great walking.
You call me uncredited.
And then Con Man is my passion, and because I have, when you're acting, you have the ability to say, I have an idea, and then the director has the ability to say, no. When it's Con Man, I'm able to say, I have an idea, and we do it. We're able to do it, and
then you tell yourself no.
And then I, in editing, go, no, what was I thinking? What a waste of time and money. But a lot of, and then also to the other actors, like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? This is the idea. How would you do that? And, when you have actors like Nolan North who are really funny, and that their ideas are in it. They make the picture. You're in the picture, kid.
But
the nipple thing is.
That was
See season 2. That just good
Yeah, but
good character actors, and I like writing characters because I tended to play characters throughout my career, extreme characters, and so you get I write extreme characters just like Bobby, who's an extreme manager, extreme played by Mindy Sterling.
Yeah, but Alan also, just embarrass him a little bit, but he listens really well. He pays attention, and because I remember we did do some kind of, he said, well, let's try this, and he was very, meant a lot to me. He said, hey, what do you want to do here? Try that, and we would try different things. But in season 2, I noticed that there was less of that because he had written to the voice that he now knew was the character. For me, for Bob, for Mindy's character, for all of some of the main core characters. You look at the page. He says, you can say what if you want to say something different. I'm like, I don't have to. It's here, and he gets it. So he's so fast and so quick with that. So it was some light lifting on the second season. It was like, I just have to say these.
But you can't. There was a joke that was yours, and I don't even think it
No,
did not.
we'll use it later. We'll use it later.
Yeah, we'll use it later.
Extra.
Extra.
I know
Any
exactly
game
what
questions?
you're talking
Any questions
about,
with the game, or?
Oh, well, I had you mentioned about doing something uncredited, and I just thought about, I'm wondering how it worked out that you do Justified as Ray,
Yeah.
and then you work it into the script,
Yeah.
that it was a role. How
Exactly.
far ahead was that planned out?
It becomes really meta. Well, I was writing Con Man the series at the time, and
You did that before we were crowdfunded.
yeah, that they offered me a role on Justified, and it was one episode, and I love the show. I'm like, I want to do one episode. Okay, I'll do one episode if you credit me with Wray Nerely. We don't care. We're it. So I got to be Wray Nerely in that, and also Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I'm not credited at all. So that was a Wray Nerely job as well. They didn't even put him in. They didn't even put him in the credits. You know, it's another slight. And then when it's justified, he was supposed to do a 5-episode arc, but they only did one because Adam Arkin's got feelings. Because Adam Arkin directed the episode, and he's a lot of fun. So we can get into that. You know, I like the question of where is the line with Ray, you know, between myself and he, him, home. It's home.
Since you started doing the show, have you noticed when you interact with people at conventions, anyone maybe, have you noticed that people act differently, maybe either in anticipation or in fear of being written onto the show?
Right.
I've actually. What question do I have to ask?
Right.
She's in season 3.
You just made season.
You just made the cut.
I've actually experienced the opposite. You know, fans are a constant. They have been a constant. So if they're editing themselves, I hope not. I hope they aren't, because they, and especially in season 2, they provide the voice of love and the support for Ray that gives him the aura of jackass because he doesn't appreciate them enough. So they're a constant, and so if they keep going like they've been going, it's going to be great for stories. But it's the people behind the scenes that talk. They go, "Oh my God, you won't believe what happened." There was one guy who, I don't want to give it away. I'm collecting stories that were not mine.
We all are collecting stories, though. We collect them for him, because
right.
I have a couple of things that I've seen in cons this year. I won't name names because I've got to see if it's okay, but that's the beauty of this show. And it's, you know, and I think that's why the game is the same thing. It's for the fans. It's like, no. You have no idea what's behind, you know, he's pulling the curtain back on Oz because the wackos, this is what the studios didn't understand. The wackos are back here. We're sitting in front of you. We are them. I mean, I watched one guy, and he asked his handler, because he had just washed his hands, if she would feed him in the green room. And she just had a plate of like little cheese, and he just would look straight ahead, not even look at her, and just go. and I'm just sitting across going, grab my phone, I gotta let Alan know about this. I have notes. I mean, and it's the, you know, there was a guy when one of the first cons I ever went to, we walked back to this makeshift green room, and the man, I said, I think I've seen him on episodes of things. Wasn't he on Love Boat 100 years ago? You know, a 2-episode arc, you know, just going after Doc. And he was like, how can there not be any more goddamn chicken wings? They had one, you know, and he's yelling at this guy, and he's like, I don't know, sir, I don't know, and no chicken, and the guy clearly didn't care, and everyone was just, well, there should be more chicken wings. It's like and I don't want those teriyaki wings, I want the kind that you had before, and there was one chafing dish. There was one little chafing dish. And he was losing his mind.
So he's doing a Russell Crowe, even though he was only on 2 episodes.
Yes,
so
and he's probably in full makeup, and you know, he's like, damn it, I was in makeup for 15 hours for that day. And here he is with his unused Sharpie, screaming about chicken wings. This happens every week. You see somebody like that.
And we should put that in the game. Prima donna actor.
Yes.
We need a VIP in the game that like messes things up.
Yeah.
Like makes it bad.
Yeah. Right now
I
they're
know
all
a few. Oh, I got a few candidates.
So I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So you mentioned some of the darker sides of the con circuit and culture. What are some of the really sort of positive sides? Because we can talk about how fans are like, you've changed my life,
Right,
or
right.
you know, you've changed my direction. But what are like your experiences being in cons outside of that really weird feeding thing?
Yeah.
Like what are those experiences for you?
The one thing that is insane in cons is the amount of charity work that people do.
Mm-hmm.
you know, the Browncoats in particular, you know, they're one of the biggest charity organizations now. And then there's the Star Wars guys.
Stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers one. So I think it's the amount of charity work that comes out of this, the amount that they're willing to give back, even though the crazies are there because they're taking their money, so to speak. You know, these make money for people. They're still constantly giving back all the time, and that's pretty powerful, pretty impressive.
Yeah, the most positive things are out on the con floor. It's the people you meet, you know, and I mean that, it sounds a little Pollyanna, but
And
I mean,
it's so inclusive. The con will take anybody. It doesn't matter what character you like, who you are, the con will accept you.
yeah.
Yeah, if you say I'm Wonder Woman, and you don't look like classic Wonder Woman, but you're wearing the costume, well, you did that one time. You say you're Wonder Woman, you're
Well,
fine as Wonder Woman.
That was just to clean your house. But, no, I'll tell you one thing that,
Really?
you did, again, he's enormous. See, I brought that back around,
Yeah.
season 3. Yeah, that's a great line too, what she did.
Season
Sorry. One thing that I noticed, I get a lot of notice for some of the video games I've done, and I've met parents. One of the real positive things is met parents who come up and their child might be disabled in a chair, and they're like, thank you. He goes on adventures with your character, and he'll never be able to do that. And you know, as an actor, you're always trying to find the next thing. What's you know, you get very self-absorbed sometimes, but you don't stop to see how everything, the animation, the TV shows, the games we make, actually affect people in a positive way. And that's a great feeling. I mean, I never really thought about guys. One amazing thing is we met a couple guys. Steve Bloom was telling me the story. He met some guys that were over in Afghanistan, and he said after they would go out on patrols and firefights, he said, "Man, we'd come back and just put in Call of Duty, and we were like, what? You're out there with real guns, and you go back and you play that?" And he's like, "Oh, you know," he said, it was so great because sometimes we get a satellite link and I could play with my kid back home.
Oh, wow.
And he said, these games, he said, it just decompress, you know, that you're just playing these things, and doing these things, watching these shows, playing these games. You know, it helps. And, you know, you don't really think about that. And I'm not saying, you know, I'm Florence Nightingale here, but it's nice to know that things are, you say that about me, but it's nice to know that there's, I've never been anywhere except on a con floor where things are so positive. Like you said, people are wearing what they want to wear, doing what they want to do. I've signed someone's back once, and they said, "I'm having it tattooed right over there," and they're waving to me as they're getting my name, and I'm thinking, "Wow, you shouldn't do that."
There's other good things too, like that help in education, and we're doing this thing with Arizona State University where we're taking Spectrum comic books and putting them in virtual reality, but the kids still have to read them. So reluctant readers, particularly boys or non-linear, kids can't learn in a linear fashion. They can put on these VR stuff and go into the world and then read at their own pace. So there's lots of cool stuff that comes out of this world.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I can't see.
You had mentioned Star Wars a second ago, so I wanted to hear, what was your relationship with Star Wars growing up? And then when you were cast, what was your reaction? Like, jump up and down, or were you just like on the phone with your agent, okay, thank you, like?
Right. It was my relationship growing up. We didn't get Star Wars figures, so I always had to go over to this guy's house down the block to play with the action figures.
It was 55. It was awkward.
Yeah, he was always inviting me. It was.
Got a swimming pool.
Got some great stuff in the basement.
So
He wants a fresca.
yeah, so I loved it like anybody else. It was like Jaws. It was just huge and respected and amazing. And I remember going to see Darth Vader at the mall, and I was so afraid. I remember, and it was just some guy in the suit, sort of just turning around. He didn't say anything, and my brother and I were terrified. So it did have an impact on us. The stories seemed real as much as they can. And when I got cast, honestly, we were in pre-production for Con Man, and Gareth offered me the job, and I said, please, 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 please don't tell me it's shooting in June, because I couldn't figure out how to tell the fans who had crowdfunded, thank you, for your support. We're not making this right now. And of any fan, you know, any group of fans that would be understanding of a Star Wars job, it is the sci-fi community. But I think one of the things that I've seen in crowdfunding is people, they say, hey, we're going to make a show, we're going to make a comic, we're going to make an app, we're going to make a mobile game for you. And then somewhere along the way, they don't make it. And we didn't want to do that. We wanted to deliver on everything because that was, we truly wanted to make it for us, for the fans, and then also for us. We were passionate about it. So luckily it didn't start in June. And it was just, it was something that I couldn't anyway see until now. I'm seeing like all of the stuff that's coming out, like all the little action figure videos they're putting out, and the
Saw Lego K2.
Lego K2, and you know, all of the, you're starting to get a sense of the size. I went to the Star Wars celebration in London this year, and you know, just getting a whole new experience of fandom, because it is a different group of fans than the Firefly fans or the Conman fans. The Conman fans are from everywhere, but all concentrated. They were a very, I don't know, it's nobody in Firefly goes, you know, when you touch this button it does this, when you touch this button it does this on your spaceship. It was rowdy, raucous, it was a Western. You know, people are serious about Star Wars. Don't mess it up. And I don't think
Star Wars and Star Trek have those
Right.
same kind of things.
Right, there's that level of, you know, specificity to them, and we maintained it, and that was impressive. But I was very happy to be able to do both, and I was editing Conman. Oh my God, I was editing Conman from London last season, so
That's
I
when
get
saw you
done.
there.
Yes,
Right?
We had to set up this editing system where we could post it, and remotely he would watch it on the set and be able to stop at any point in the edit, and then it would automatically create a note in the timeline that would then get sent back to the editors. But there was an hour wait, so we would get the notes, and then, is he on set? Is he sleeping?
Yes,
What were you-
I'd work until 2 was usually as late as I could go, although in crunch times it got to be more. 2 in the morning, editing, and then I'd sleep, and by the time I woke up it would be posted as to the changes, then I'd go back, and at that night after working I would make more changes. But you know, it's all that stuff of like, pull 2 frames off of this, pull, because it's a comedy and timing is everything. And I learned to write through doing plays, doing new comedies, and doing stuff on stage and watching it fail, and watching better writers than me fix jokes, use the same joke but twist it around. You give the punchline here, you know, in the first run, it's not working. Now you give the punchline from over here. Instead of coming in that door, you come in that door. And for some reason it's funnier. They change a couple of things and learning through that. So, and it was all about timing, so it was a new tricky thing to learn. And we're doing it right now for season 2. I was this morning and last night going through the edits, pull 2 frames off of here, tighten that.
It gets better, it really does, a lot better.
Time
Any
for
more
one more question
game
about the
stuff?
game?
We'd love to talk a little bit more about the game, because it's out right now. This is our big launch. We have the panel at 4 o'clock. We're gonna show the trailer and some, talk about the game, and then we have the party tonight in the Peachtree Room at 8:30 about the game. Has anybody here downloaded the game? Thank you.
All right, huge love.
She's my new favorite.
Yes, it's free. If you download it, you can just check it out, and
Lots of con man references and cross jokes. And
it's not just a simple little game that I've seen off of TV shows that I play and I kind of get it, and it's, you know, it is a deep game. And
Well, it's also
I think
just-
people are gonna like it. You agree? That's fantastic.
do you have a favorite thing so far in it, or?
I just set up the sci-fi booth.
Oh, no way.
I
Wow.
appreciate, I'm on level 19.
Nice.
Higher than
I've
me.
been playing it for 2 days while driving to Dragon Con, so.
The whole car ride down, she was.
Yeah,
You
'cause
were
it's a-
driving?
No, I was in the backseat. No, I don't think I could defeat aliens and drive at the same time.
We're gonna team up with Tesla. Hey!
But
Self-drive
I
stuff.
appreciate the fandom references in that booth, because because the portal, to me, looks like a Stargate.
Yep.
It is, yeah.
Yes!
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, but it's great because I think it speaks to anybody who loves cons. I mean, you get to build your own.
Yeah.
And there's so many different things you can do. You should be a fan of Con Man, but you don't have to be to enjoy this game. And I think that's what it's a big message we'd like.
And we'd like
you
to
help us
expand.
get that out to people. Make your own con. It's yours. You manage it. You're in charge. And it's fun. And
It's
who
funny.
wouldn't want to see Joss Whedon running around cleaning toilets?
Or Kevin Smith frisking people at the door or
Yeah.
chasing naked octogenarians around the.
That was my favorite thing that we did when we got sat in the booth to do some of the voices, and I remember just seeing Joss Whedon, and Jerry had to go, why doesn't somebody direct someone to clean up that toilet? Just did a bunch of direct people over to that, and you hear that every now and then. That's all I do. I just press on myself when I play. I just want to hear it.
There's also fans within the game. Their name, people who crowdfunded it that was one of the things. If you gave at this level your name, you'll be in the game. We'll give you a character, and you'll see their names come up, and there they are running
picture of
around
you,
the
right?
running around the con.
And then, and then there's
Freeman
6 people
animates
that
it.
we actually drew them into the game and made them super fans and give them superpowers, and they have
To
to
their-
build up
to-
their
to how they look.
their
They're in it.
cosplay outfit, and then they go and fight the aliens for you. So there's 6 of those people. We're going to release another one. I think it's the end of this week, beginning of next week. Another fan from the Indiegogo campaign.
And it's funny. It has the same odd humor to it, like Con Man, the series, where people are throwing up and if they eat the. If the fish went bad in the fish vending machine, there's rats that come with the trash.
Did we ever figure out what those critters with the
Oh yeah, what's
there's
this
like
third bug that
there's like
comes
a-
out? You've got
it looks like
the
a-
rats, the
Freema's in the back there. What?
Is that what
no,
that
no,
is?
the little, there's little, they look like, it looks like pubic
beetle
lice.
with
It
a
goes
green
rats.
diaper.
It goes rats. It goes roaches.
After the
And then
cockroach.
pubic lice in thongs.
Yes.
So as we were saying, it has the absurdist nature of the first show. Of
Might
the
not
first
be
series.
crabs.
That's what they are. Pubic lice and thongs.
It's for younger people as well. I don't want to suggest.
You can get it from a toilet.
Your toilets break, but then there's a lot of levels of you have the strategy that goes to it as far as putting where you put your bathrooms and where you put everything and having the booths, your sci-fi booths and your different celebrities.
The fish vending
You
machines.
can make more money. The fish vending machines. I'm so happy to be able to put that stuff in the game because in my mind, although you don't see it, there's like a trout that only got halfway down and just didn't release, and somebody pounded and there's just a trout hanging, waiting to be, E3.
And the game looks great. I get it. My kids and their friends all say, one of the big things is like it looks amazing, and that's testament to Freeman.
We got to sit there with them in the beginning. They invited us down, so we went down and worked with the artists.
Up, it was more up.
Up, yeah.
Up to Quebec.
I almost
Right
did
after the
that.
Comic-Con, right after Comic-Con first season, we announced first season, and then that Sunday we went up to Quebec and had a great time and had a couple of meetings about where we were on the game because we'd already begun. It's great. And we did your VR, we got to play with your VR, and then we put Nathan Fillion's character, Jack Moore, this season, is in a VR situation, and he's doing the horse thing that we played at Freema. So we just pulled from all of these places. And it doesn't only take place at cons. I think we made it for everybody, There's a lot of comedies out there that have actors, and it makes total sense because everybody's just obsessed with themselves in their own world. You write what you know, and a lot of actors know acting and that auditioning process and being the guy who can't make it. So ours has that similar thing, like Louis or extras. No, Louis is a different thing. Like extras or Aziz Ansari's show. But ours has the backdrop of cons, and it's in the world of cons, so it allows us this ability to go into this extreme absurdist world because there's superheroes there. And, it's so much fun. So I always want
Do you
people to
have
watch
any
it.
last remarks or anything you want to make sure you get out there?
Yeah, when you're coming up with like these analogs for different things, was there any sort of legality issues that were kind of iffy?
Legalities?
Yeah, when you're trying to come up with like the designs for something that you don't exactly have the right to, like she mentioned the Stargate and
Right.
something like that. Was there ever something that kind of pushed it to where it had to be revamped?
Don't worry, we talk to a lot of lawyers when we do this, but because we're in parody, we have a lot of leeway under, and the there's some legal word of fair use laws.
Right.
So all of that stuff.
Immunity,
checked.
that legal word.
Immunity, okay. all that stuff gets checked. But to have people like Joss and Kevin Smith in the game and the voices of all the celebrities, of course that has to be all done. Proper paperwork and that has to be done. So we go through all that rigorous, I go through all that rigorous work.
He's the architect. I do the silly stuff. And
I'm just here because I have a shirt.
but what a shirt. Yeah, everybody, you know, we just want people to download the game and enjoy this new part of Con.
Yeah, and give us their feedback. Tell us, you know, are we close to what they like in cons? You know, give us, you know, we love their feedback. The fan, we have
always
direct line. They
changing.
can go to the website and put their comments in. And it comes directly to our emails.
And I'm challenging all the people of Dragon Con. I want 100,000 downloads this weekend. Call your friends,
like
call your
that.
family. That's what I want. And if so, I'll come mocap any video game character at your house.
Do the
I'll
mocap. Do
fly
the
myself there.
Do your mocap. The thing you did. I think that the
The
main. You will
feathers.
just stand in their living room and do the thing.
Oh, I'll do. A lot of people are big Uncharted fans and things, so I will come to your house, and while you eat dinner, I'll just stand there like this.
For days he'll do
And
this.
like, and you can say, walk right, I'll just start walking. You just make, and I'll wear the suit.
100,000 downloads, and that's what you get.
That's what you get. Send the word out.
That's all.
That's a challenge. It's, you know, see if they can do it.
We're not too far off either. So it's definitely within.
No, I mean 100,000 more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
no. I wanted. This is everybody talks about Dragon Con. This is my first. You know, they said go to Toronto. I said no, I'm going to Atlanta because they got the barns. They got barns here.
And on that.
Have you been to the barn?
Yeah. Before we find out what happens in the barn.
You don't want to know.
I know.
But it's all if everyone's wearing a mocap suit, it's not illegal. And you have to wear mirrored sunglasses. But we'll be over that. Okay.
Thank
I'm
you,
gonna take my
everybody.
kids away.
Thank you very much. Take care. Enjoy.
Thank you.